Hello and welcome back to Life in Motion and to New Car Day. Today I am running you through what I bought to replace my Porsche Taycan. And as you can see from the front and from the title, I bought a Land Rover Defender 110 D300, but it's not just any D300. This is the 75th anniversary. So in this video, I'm going to explain why I bought it and what makes the 75th anniversary so special. I hope you enjoy. Now, when I wanted something practical and unique, I think we can agree the 75th anniversary is certainly unique, and my word is the 110 practical. Now, the Defender harks back to the Series 1 that was released in the 1948 Amsterdam Motor Show, and this is this heritage edition. This is the 75th anniversary of that car. Since releasing the new shape Defender in around 2019, they have made over 500,000 of them. They are by far the best-selling Land Rover product today, confirmed by a recent visit to a dealer. But on the 75th anniversary, they have only made around about 7,000 of them. So I'm thinking this is fairly rare. You're very unlikely to see another one. And most of them came with silver around the surrounds, around the back. They came with body matched colour wheels. They would have been Grasmere Green wheels to match the paintwork. By the way, Grasmere Green, it's a heritage colour, and however you say it, I don't mind. But this car has got black on the grille surrounds, black at the back, and the previous owner wrapped the bonnet black, and I think it looks superb. Black wheels, they're 20-inch wheels they are. However, the tyres are so big, they make them look like trolley wheels. So that's good, they're so comfortable. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, the 70th anniversary, they've only made a couple of thousand. Of the 110 variant that I have, they only made about 5,000 of them so far. So what does that mean residually? Have I done quite a good job? If you're familiar with the previous Defender, and I'm not talking about the series, I'm talking about the predecessor to this car, you'll recognise some similarities. Swage line on the side, flat backs, boxy nature of the car, but that's about where it stops. This car is brand new and bloody impressive. But Grasmere Green I absolutely love. Got black wheels rather than the body match wheels, and actually I think they look great. Black surrounds, black everything, it would make sense to be black rather than grey. And this car, it's a 110 and you need that for practicality. Doors rather than 3 doors. Big boot, it makes complete sense. And if you're looking for one, 110 would be what I went for, of course. But this car is fairly big. Over 5 metres long, it's over 2 metres wide, and it's nearly 2 metres tall. It's quite a big car, but it doesn't drive like that, it doesn't feel like that, and I'll explain that later on. Now, if you were any motorist, you may think that this is just a normal Defender painted in a really weird green. However, there are a few things to denote the 75th anniversary model over just a normal Defender. There's a badge there, and the colour. Basically, there are some bits inside which I'll show you later, but that's basically what you get. And I actually really like that it's subtle. I wouldn't want, and I've seen it on previous Defenders, big writing on the side, 75th. It'd just be too much. It's an everyday car. That is subtle enough for people to know that it's special. And of course, the green, you're not going to miss. But if I just open the boot, there we are. Massive boot. Has a 3-pin socket, so I can work in the back. I don't know, work from home, take a different meaning with the Defender. I can raise and lower the suspension. It has a tow bar that comes out electrically, and it's just, yeah, it's got this weird thing that covers your shopping. Spare wheel, and apparently, according to my missus, if you reverse on that, that's how you're supposed to stop when you hit a wall, just hit the wheel, which of course is ridiculous. I told her every time, if you do that, she won't be driving it. So, yeah, bloody love this thing. Now the 75th anniversary bits don't stop on the inside. 75th anniversary there, very cool. So the 75th on the side, but that's about it on the inside. The only other thing you do get is there is some body coloured accents on the doors. That's obviously exposed kind of to the door, on the dash, but just one thing I want to tell you. On the 75th anniversary, they've based it on an HSE model, which is basically the highest thing you could get. Because it's an HSE Plus, has a few other options on it, it is fully kitted out with everything that I ever would want. Adaptive cruise control, heated steering wheel, head-up display. It's got the virtual cockpit, which is fairly standard. The 11.4-inch screen in the middle. Heated and ventilated seats. These ones are like 14-way electrically adjustable. They squeeze me, they kind of hug me, they do everything I need them to do. It's got Meridian sound system. It's got a fridge. Whose car has a fridge? Well, the 75th Defender does. So I've got loads of water in it, which I love. Wireless charging, charging ports everywhere, USB, USB-C, everything's in here. It is fully loaded. It's got a pan roof, or you could option for a fabric roof. Now this has got the fabric roof. I'm not a massive fan of fabric roof compared to the pan roof. It kind of like cantilever, whatever you call it, folds back as it goes, and it's quite cool, but I'd rather have a pan roof, otherwise it gets a bit dark in here. Hence why I opened it up. But it's a lovely place to be, massively surprised. Yes, there is like, they've lent into it being quite utilitarian. However, it's not really a utilitarian vehicle. I mean, you can get one kind of commercially, which basically means the back seats here are gone and you just have like a firewall in place and you've just got everything, or a bulkhead, whatever you call it. But yeah, it's super plush. Lots of plastic here. Like, this is like kind of tough, weird, durable plastic. These are all plastic and things, but steering wheel feels lovely. There are some nice little bits on it. The seats are super lovely. I think they're the Windsor leather they have. Super nice. The Meridian comes with the kind of like metal surrounds, which just looks a bit more plush. Normally these are kind of white, and some of these bits are white, but actually on the 75th they're black, and I think they look way better than the normal ones. I'm so surprised, and this car's only got 9,952 miles, so I kind of got it at a really good mileage. It feels brand new. The steering wheel is like literally looks brand new. Everything feels brand new. So inside, really impressive. And again, if you are a Defender owner from the previous generation, or you've been around them, you can tell these are way different to that. I mean, imagine having this in a Defender. I mean, the screen is super responsive. It's got slope assist, different angles of pitch and lean and roll, and everything you want to have a look at. Of course, CarPlay, which is where I spend most of my time on it, but other little things. These buttons, they're buttons. You can twist them, feel them, touch them. When I'm driving, I don't have to look away from the road. Yes, brilliant feature. Nowadays, a lot of the Range Rover products, they're all in the screen. You've got to play with it a million times just to get the washers to come on, but you don't in this one. Other things, head-up display is very crisp. This is so silly, but if you're a car person, you'll feel me. How easy it is to clean this windscreen from the inside. I hate a dirty windscreen inside. It's really annoying me. This, it's so easy to wipe, whereas in my previous cars, the glass goes on forever, and I can't clean it as easy. So that's really cool. There is a little shelf in the middle, which is quite nice. Just throw bits about, but oh, surprising. I actually had, for like 3 weeks, a Range Rover Sport. It was 2023. Long story, but I haven't got it anymore, obviously. And that was super plush, right? Seats were lovely. It was very much Range Rover. This isn't as nice, but driving wise, infotainment, usability, it is very almost as good as that Sport, in my opinion. And if you've got a previous Range Rover, I wouldn't be half surprised if you found yourself in one of these. Let's have a little look in the back. Hello. In the back, I don't know why I did that. In the back of the car, it's same quality leather. It's really, really lovely. These seats do come back. Oh. So as it turns out, they do go down, but if the driver's seat is in the way, they don't. But they do go down. It makes a massive floor. Pop that back. Air conditioning for your passengers. It's got USB and USB-Cs in there. Fairly flat floor, which is quite nice because people always moan about a transmission tunnel and an that's good. It's a lovely place to be. One big thing for your passengers, you can see so much through into the front and into the kind of out of the windscreen, which makes a massive difference if you're not someone that travels very well. Really impressive. Other cars, huge seats, you can't really see well. My SQ7 I had, the seats were too big. You couldn't see out when you're in the back. So good marks for the Defender. Above you, when the sunroof is open, lots of light. When it isn't, not so much light, but it's a live with thing. I don't mind because I get everything else on it. Cool. Now can you see why I've been so excited about my new car? Actually, this took me by surprise, massively. I've always liked them for a while, but I just never took the leap. I was just in a different kind of frame of mind. I did something different. But now I've got it, I didn't want to say it too early, but I've had it, what, a week and a half, and I absolutely love it. So if you think of buying one, at least go down and drive one and just spend some time with it. But the colour with the black and the black bonnet, which is a surprise. I don't normally modify cars, but this looks great. The spec, the interior, the everything is really, really good. So I'm really pleased. But before I end the video, why don't we jump in and go for a drive, just to give you a little bit of insight into what it's like to live with on the road. And in future, I will do an in-depth review. So don't worry, you will go through a lot more and you get a bit more of a taste. But just before I do that, in there is the D300. So it's a inline 6-cylinder diesel engine. It's got something like 296 horsepower, 650 newton meters of torque, does about 6.6 seconds to 60. It is mild hybrid technology, so it's got a mild hybrid assist in there. And off the line, it's punchy enough. It's not that quick, but when you're cruising around, you don't need to be quick in your Defender. Unless you want a V8, but that's another thing. A friend of mine's got a V8, and I hate to say it, I didn't think it was that fast. It sounds great, but compared to some other stuff, it's not that fast. But sorry, just get a diesel, get a D300. They do a P400, it's a hybrid. You could do that if you like, but D300 is great, so smooth. Come on, let's go for a drive. Shut up, Jack, let's go for a drive. The first thing you should know about the new Defender, especially the 75th anniversary, because it comes as standard with air suspension. And it's a dream, it's silky, it's smooth, it's like I'm on a cushion of air, all that kind of jazz. It is really, really good. A little bit hit and miss on some areas. Sometimes for some reason, like little bumps and things just kind of catch me out. But on the day-to-day, it's superb, super comfortable. It's not as comfortable as the Range Rover Sport is, especially the new generations, I'm sure the big one as well, but it is a damn sight better than any Defender has ever been. And actually, in today's standard across other cars like an X5, a Q7, which I personally owned, this is really, really good. It does help, the 20-inch wheels they're on, the tyres are like a million profile. The sidewall is so big, A, it helps with if you're gonna curb something, but B, they are a lot more comfortable. Around town, it doesn't actually feel that big. Yes, it's 5 meters long and it's nearly 2 meters tall and it's about 2 and a bit meters wide. However, it doesn't feel big because it's quite square. It's boxy. You know where the wheels are, you know where the body is. I actually, looking in my mirrors, when I look at like the lines on the road, I don't feel like I'm on over either side. It just feels kind of well proportioned. It is a big car, don't get me wrong. Like, I do feel like I'm driving something fairly big, but day to day, no, it's really surprised me. It is super usable. I said it was not that big, but it does feel a little bit big there. Now, one of the things you should know about the Defender, especially this one, is that the 360-degree camera is outstanding. It is so clear, it's so crisp, and I've been driving this for about a week and a half, but I cleaned it last weekend. And a week on, it is crystal clear and is not clogged up with grime and dirt like the Taycan did. So properly good win there, just usability. Performance is not the car's strong suit, however. It pulls fairly well. As I said, it's an inline kind of straight 6 diesel engine, near 300 horsepower, 650 newton meters of torque. It's plenty powerful enough to pull, I think it pulls like 3.5 tons. It drives really, really well. And now it goes back to, it cruises at like about 1300 RPM, so it's super quiet. The only thing you get is kind of wind noise from the massive door mirrors, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Outside of performance, which is not what this car is designed for, comfort is the biggest surprise by far. I had a 2023 Range Rover Sport, I told you that earlier on, and that was super comfortable. However, this car is like 85–90% as comfortable as that Range Rover Sport is. And air suspension is superb, having some big chunky tyres on it. Yes, the tread is probably a bit too chunky, it probably is a bit louder. However, it's super comfortable. You have a lovely driving position. These 14-way adjustable seats are super, super comfy. Go in and out on the bolsters on the side. They just hug you, they squeeze you, they extend, whatever you need to do, they are super comfortable. The driving position as well, I'm never strained in this car. You can see my arms are just chilled out by the side if I want to drive just kind of at the bottom of the steering wheel, or if I want to drive kind of either side, kind of 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, they're super comfortable. It's super, this is electrically adjusted, by the way, the steering wheel, so that's useful. It's just a really lovely place to be, and ultimately it's surprisingly comfortable. Of course, especially compared to the previous Defender, which was not comfortable in any way. Now, before I pull up and end the video, I just want to say this car has been an out and out surprise for me, a massively pleasant surprise. I didn't realise how comfortable it would be, how many people really admire it and love it, especially the colour. And with the 75th anniversary, it is surprising how affordable it has been compared to some of the other cars I've owned. And in another video, I will explain that, because I use a certain finance broker to help make that happen. But all in all, super, super happy with the 75th. And because it comes with all the equipment you'd ever want, yeah, brilliant. Right, let me pull over and I'll end the video. Oh, well, that is it. Welcome to my new car. I'm absolutely in love with it, and I want to know what you all think. First of all, would you consider and buy a Defender? And second of all, am I an idiot in this colour, or have I been rather smart? Now, one thing I didn't say is that this car was financed by Lillian Stanley Finance. They're a broker, but they have been unbelievably good. I've actually bought, this is my second car that I financed through them, and they've been brilliant. Not only did they save me about 5% on my interest rate compared to Land Rover, but they were super easy to deal with. They work with the dealer all the time. I worked with Chris Harris there, who's been, not that Chris Harris, another Chris Harris. He's been super helpful. And then Mia has taken over in terms of getting all the finance together with the company. So it's all worked brilliantly, and I've saved a load of money. I'm very, very happy. And I'll explain that in a future video, because actually the 75th anniversary specifically is a little gold mine when it comes to residual value. So have a little think. But I'm in love with my new car. I think it looks great. Tell me what you think below, but I will do an in-depth review for those that want to see it in an upcoming video. So check that one out soon, but that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think below. My name's Jack, this is Life in Motion, and I'll see you really, really soon. Oh, someone's got in the bloody space.